Good morning. We at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living acknowledge that we gather on the ancestral lands of the Cahuilla, Gabrielina Tongva, Gabrielina Keech, and Pachanga peoples. We commit to live in right relations, to love our neighbors, to seek justice and loving kindness, and to walk humbly on this land. We recognize our oneness so that we may decolonize our minds and set each other free from the pain of racism and violence, to live better as Great Spirit intended in harmony with nature and with one another. So again, good morning and welcome to the morning table. I am Dr. Jeannie Kataoka, and I'm one of your licensed practitioners here, and I'm also your ordained animal chaplain. So again, good morning, and let's say, okay, love lives here at Riverside CSL, where together we, let me move this over here. I'd like to say hello to everyone joining us on live stream and Zoom today, and Mike is going to be hosting Zoom, Mike Kataoka, my beloved. For those of you who are here and came in before we were tearing our hair out, please be aware that the water is turned off. That's why there's no coffee, and that's why if you can hold it, we would appreciate you don't use the restrooms. So Cindy says there is a bathroom in Fairmount Park, so I suggest you just hold it, because that's about a quarter of a mile from here, I think. Yeah. I want to remind everyone here in Johnson Hall, please put your phones on silent so that our time together is uninterrupted. So let's ground ourselves in unity for a moment and say our focus statement together. It should be popping up on the screen. There we go. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Now let's get everyone up and moving with some music.
1, 2, 3,
Now I see the Spirit standing right in front of me.
I see the Spirit standing right in front of me.
I see the Spirit standing right in front of me. I see the Spirit standing right in front of me. Praise God,
Praise God,
praise God, praise God.
I see the Spirit in you.
Now I see the Spirit standing right beside me. I see the Spirit standing right behind me. I see the Spirit standing right beside me. I see the Spirit standing right beside me. Praise God, praise God, praise God, praise God.
I see the Spirit in you.
Let's dance. And now I see the Spirit standing right behind me. I see the Spirit standing right behind me. I see the Spirit standing right behind me. I see the Spirit standing right behind me.
Praise God,
praise God,
praise God.
praise God.
I see the Spirit in you.
And now I see the Spirit standing to the left of me. I see the Spirit standing to the left of me. I see the Spirit standing to the left of me. I see the Spirit standing to the left of me. Praise all, praise all, praise all, praise all. I see the Spirit in you. Oh, I see the Spirit everywhere around me. 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 Praise all, praise all, praise all, praise all.
I see the Spirit in you.
Here we go. Praise all,
Praise all,
praise all, praise all. I see the Spirit in you.
Yay, band. Good morning again. As I mentioned, I'm Dr. Jeannie Kataoka, one of your licensed spiritual practitioners here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, and I will be available after service for a brief moment of prayer in the prayer room just off the lobby. Please don't leave here this morning with anything on your heart, be it a challenge or a celebration. I love to pray for celebrations. I would love to pray with you for whatever, and absolutely know that prayer works. There is a candle in the center of your table. I invite you to light it together with me now. As we come together in conversation this morning, this candle is a reminder that when two or more are gathered, a greater wisdom is available to us. We experience a deeper love, and our own light shines brighter. Now please allow this music to take you into the silence, followed by this morning's invocation.
I am remembering who I am. 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 I'm
For the invocation this morning, I thought we would do the beautiful indigenous Hawaiian mantra, the Ho'oponopono. So if you'll just repeat after me. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And so it is.
It's the hardest thing to give away. The last thing on your mind today always goes to those who don't deserve. It's the opposite of how you feel. The pain they cause is just too real. It takes everything you have to say the word forgiveness. Forgiveness. It flies in the face of all your pride. It moves away the mad inside. It's always anger's own worst enemy. Even when the jury and the judge say you've got a right to hold a grudge, it's the whisper in your ear saying set it free. Forgiveness. 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 Show me how to love the unlovable. Show me how to reach the unreachable. It'll clear the bitterness away. It can even set a prisoner free. There's no end to what its power can do. So let it go and be amazed by what you see through eyes of grace. The prisoner that it really frees is you. Forgiveness. 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 Show me how to love the unlovable. Show me how to reach the unreachable. Help me now to do the impossible. Forgiveness, I want to finally set it free. Show me how to see what your mercy sees. Help me now to give what you gave to me. Forgiveness, forgiveness. Spirit, forgive me.
Forgiveness, right? How do we get there? So we've been walking this fourfold path of forgiveness from the book of Forgiving. And we have told our stories, no matter how difficult it was. We shared in this room as community, loving on one another, so we felt that we were vulnerable enough and we had people that are with us on this journey. Then we named our hurts. So we gave those hurts, those emotions a name. And we shared that right here. And I chose this because it says forgive to forget, but if we take out the for, then it's give to get. And so that's what we want to do. We want to give so we can get. And so I have a poem. So just close your eyes if that is comfortable for you as I read the poem. I can draw you as a cipher, so unlike me. I can make you less than human. I can erase your story. Then I will have no work to do and nothing to forgive. But there is still a pile of pain waiting for me. And I cannot remove it without facing your story. There is a pile of pain waiting for me. And to clear it away, I must admit our common humanity. So you can open your eyes. So in order to forgive someone who has hurt you, you have to recognize the common bond that we all have together, and that is our humanity. So I have some headlines for you. And these are really tough headlines for me to talk about. And I'm not going to go into detail because you all have heard the stories. And these are examples of people who have demonstrated radical forgiveness. On October 2nd, 2006, 10 Amish girls were shot in their schoolhouse by a gunman. I don't know if you remember that. But the Amish community came forward and they responded by putting the emphasis on forgiveness and reconciliation. The next headline. On October 1st, 1993, Polly Klaas was taken from her slumber party. And this letter was written by her mother, and this is just excerpts of the letter. It says, "Dear friends, let's grieve together for our last hope, our lost hope, for our faith was betrayed. When we can, let's open our hearts to forgive and healing. Focus on the changes we can make instead of the what ifs." And that was written by Eve Nichols, her mother. So in practicing this idea of forgiveness, it's really tough when something heinous has happened. But we see that people are able to do that. And I'm reminded of a story where this young girl was taking the train with her father, and she said her father she always wanted the ticket ahead of time. "Give me the ticket, give me the ticket, give me the ticket." And her father would never give her the ticket. But right as they began to board the train, he would give her the ticket. So I'm just using that as an example to say, when we are ready, what we need in this idea of forgiveness will appear, will come to us. But we don't get the ticket until we are absolutely ready. In this book of forgiveness, a father and daughter was traveling to Mumbai for a meditation retreat when there was a terrorist attack, and they were both killed. And the mother and the wife was recounting the story, and as she got the news that her loved ones had been killed, she said she heard the words in her head, "Forgive, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And so receiving that message from her higher self, from the divine within her, she told her family, "We have to forgive." And she said when she got that message, the rays of peace entered her heart, and she was able to communicate that with her family, that forgiveness is essential. So she began to think about the terrorists, and she began to relate to the humanness of that terrorist's mother, who's also going through a loss, because the laws in Mumbai says that if you kill someone, you will be killed. So she was able to kind of feel what the mother was feeling. She had lost her loved ones. The mother was losing also a loved one. Because no one comes into this world with violence in their heart. No one comes into this world with hate in their heart. No one comes to this world as a liar, a cheater, whatever the words are out there. No one comes here with that embedded in their hearts. We are born pure spirit. And we are pure spirit from the inside. And there's no more room in this world for hate. Do you agree? So granting forgiveness requires a deep level of acceptance for what has occurred. And it doesn't mean that we forget. It does not mean that we forget. It does not mean that we don't have laws in this country and other countries that punish crimes that have been committed. We know that those exist. It doesn't mean that we simply accept it. It means that we find a place within our heart where we can open it up to love, where we can open it up to know that this person is also a part of this large human family. And I'm not saying that it's easy to do. I have a story for you. So I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, And I grew up, my mom was an x-ray technician at one of the local hospitals. And she broke the color barrier because there were no black x-ray technicians during that time. She actually got the job as an orderly. And because she has such a good relationship with the people there, they said, hey, would you like to go to x-ray school? And she said, yes, I would. And they said, don't worry about it. We got your books. You start classes on Monday. Just make sure your daycare is worked out, whatever. You know, they worked out the details for her. So needless to say, I grew up in a hospital setting. And we were welcomed. And not a lot of people, except my mother and I, myself and my brother, looked like we looked in that department. But we were welcomed with love. We were welcomed as family. So I never faced racism when I was growing up. I didn't even know what it was. I saw things on the television that said people were having a hard time, and I knew my cousins and, you know, people like that. But I never felt that. I never experienced that until there's always a but. Until I was 21 years old and I got married, and Daryl was in the Air Force. So we moved to Georgia. We moved to Warner Robins, Georgia. Now, I've been cocooned all my life. I've been told all my life that I can do whatever I want to do, be whoever I wanted to be, just go for it. And I saw that demonstrated in my mother because she went for it. She graduated top of her class. We became family to her coworkers and her colleagues. So when I got 21 years old, we moved to Georgia. That was a new experience. I applied for a job at the hospital because I grew up in the hospital setting. I applied for the job in the emergency room as a clerk to assist the doctors and the nurses. I got the job. And one day, I was sitting at the desk taking orders, order this lab, blah, blah, blah. And one of the nurses came up to me and said, you must have grew up in the television generation where you think that you can talk to us anytime you want to talk to us. That let me put you in your place. When I speak to you, you speak back. Other than that, you're silent. Can you imagine my face? There was a cartoon called Was My Face Red? Or there was in Ann Landers or something like that. Was my face red? Yes, it was. That hurt me to my core. I had never been spoken like that before. I never had any concept in my consciousness that I wasn't able to just be who I am. I was just being me. And I was told that. Well, it hurt. It really hurt. So, I can laugh about it today because how dare you talk to me like that? Well, it didn't stop who I was, but it did hurt. It left a scar on me that I eventually had to forgive because I am also a part of this human race. I am also a divine emanation of spirit. I am also one with God, whatever you say, whatever we say. I can do, be, have anything I want to do, be, and have. And so can you, right? But there's this idea of forgiveness. We have to walk the path first. And we've been walking that path. So forgiveness is also about having the compassion to see another's humanity, even in the midst of a heinous act. People hurt when they are hurt. There are countless of stories where ordinary people have exercised radical forgiveness. But sometimes I think in this philosophy, we want to jump ahead to, I forgive you, when we haven't done the work. And what happens when we do that? It resurfaces. It comes back until we actually heal it. It keeps showing up until we actually heal it. So we have tools in this philosophy that helps us to get there. We've been working with these tools all this, this month, this last month, walking this path of forgiveness. So what is forgiveness? It's a choice. We grow through forgiving. Forgiving is how we move from victimhood to hero in our own stories. So I could have stayed in victimhood, or I could decide for myself, I have choice, to be the hero of my own story and not allow that to diminish me. But it did at the moment. But I had to make a decision. Am I the victim, or do I want to be the hero of my own story and chart my own path? And so that was a decision that I had to make for myself. Forgiveness gives us the ability to keep our hearts open and soft. And unforgiveness keeps us closed and hardened inside and outside. Have you seen people that walk around with a hard exterior, hard shell, and you can't seem to crack it? You can't seem to get past it because they have their guards up. Unforgiveness, that's what it does to us. It makes us put a shell. My zodiac sign is Cancer. And so people used to say, oh, you just go into your shell. And a crab has a hard shell. But I had to learn to open myself up and to forgive. And then by the wisdom of Tabitha Brown, anybody in the room know who Tabitha Brown is? No? She's an influencer. But I heard her say this the other day, and I wanted to bring it forward today. So she was talking about an avocado. And so we know what avocados are. And she says sometimes when we buy them, they're hard and unyielding. Have you ever bought one that's it's not quite ripe yet? And it's hard, you can't cut through it. So it's basically useless. You can't do anything to it until it softens up. Sometimes they're mush inside and not much good for anything. And they taste bad. You ever got one that's overripe and it leaves that you don't want to eat it. It's not right. It's not good for anything. You got to throw it out. And then other times they are just right. Not too hard and not too soft. But just like Goldilocks, just right. And when it's just right, you can create something beautiful. Avocado toast, guacamole. But liken that to ourselves. When we are hard and have a shield up, we're not quite ready yet. We're not ripe for the forgiveness work or to forgive. And sometimes we're just too mushy and everything triggers us and we're over here in the corner crying. Not good much for anything, right? And then when we're ready, we get the ticket and we're just right, just like the avocado. And we can create something beautiful for us because forgiveness is the gift that we give to ourselves. And so we're going to go to our tables now. And you have some questions on your table and answer them. Just, open yourself up to answer these questions. And then we'll reconvene. So thank you. Let's get our Zoomers.
Hello. So Karen and I had a nice one-on-one. Talk, yeah. And we kind of come experience with forgiveness that we don't necessarily remember the process or what provoked it. And we actually had some trouble with that word provoke because it's a negative connotation, maybe what caused it or influenced it or, led it to happen. But we both experienced forgiveness and the sense of freedom and peace that it brings when you truly do forgive. And we also realize that the process doesn't end with "I forgive you." It's because the story can linger, as Karen mentioned, and there's still pain. But getting past the story, as you mentioned, Sonja, is important. So there's a process that follows the actual act of forgiveness that does take time.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike and Karen. Now we're going to go to Marty. Marty?
Well, thank you. We talked about seeing the humanness in others, empathy, having empathy for them, that it was a long process, that it just became time in some cases where, it was just too heavy not to forgive, that we became ready and forgave for those reasons. Seeing the commonality in others also helped us to come to a place of forgiveness. So those are the kind of the themes that we talked about.
Thank you. Gigi. Gia. I think I just made that name up.
Okay. Well, here, what I heard is that everyone came to the realization that, forgiveness is a choice, and that forgiveness provides freedom for the person who does forgive, and that without that step, that you will likely experience, real issues such as bad health, occupies your mind, taking you away from things that might give you joy and happiness in the meantime, and being mindful that, that hurt people hurt people.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay, so to wrap up, granting forgiveness. Choose to forgive. It's a choice. Recognize shared humanity. True forgiveness. I forgive you, but and giving yourself, when you say I forgive you, give yourself the ability to write a new story. Growing through forgiveness. When you are hurt, when you are in pain, when you are angry with someone, know that the only way to end these feelings is to accept them, and the only way out is through them. And then the last point I have for you is forgiveness simply means acceptance for the reality of the situation and letting go of the incident because it cannot be changed. So our tools for thriving this week. So consider forgiveness. And I picked up this one. It's from the Dalai Lama, His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And this is what he does. And if you can take this on as a practice, it's about transmuting and transforming. So what he does is he practices loving kindness. And so what he does is he puts the emphasis on loving his enemies or people who wish him harm or hate, those kind of things. So he focuses on the practice of taking all their names for him, all their hurt for him. he takes those on. So he breathes those in, and then he breathes out compassion. He breathes out love. So sending love to the people who have hurt you. And so that brings me to what we're doing with the Atlanta church. 100 days before this election, we are sending positive vibes and positive energy. Every day there's a positive affirmation and reading that I'm participating in. So if you can practice this, I'd like you to journal on it. So practice breathing in whatever hurt someone may have caused you and breathing out compassion, transmuting that energy of negativity into positivity. If you can do that. It's a challenge. But remember, we have to give it to get it. Okay. Thank you, and so it is.
I forgot to do birthdays. So does anybody have a birthday this month? Okay. Okay, stand up. If you have a birthday this month, stand up. And if you have an anniversary this month, stand up. And we'll sing happy birthday. Birthday.
And how many anniversaries is this, Helen?
How many years? 50-something.
55.
That's Frank and Helen Conley.
And for me and Daryl.
55. Yeah.
And for Daryl and I, it's 39. So.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
So now is the sacred time of giving and receiving. Your conscious contributions to this center allow us to continue our wonderful work. You'll notice envelopes on the table for contributions, 2 or more, and tithing envelope to the center, and a silver vessel where you place your contribution. Or another easy way to give is via text to give. Just send a text to 951-419-5858 with the amount you wish to contribute. You can also go to our website at riversidecsl.org and click on the link in the upper right-hand corner under the tab Contribute. We are so grateful for your ongoing generosity. For those in Johnson Hall, please place what you are giving in the silver vessel and extend your hands toward the vessel, sending forth energy and blessings as we repeat the abundance affirmation together. It's on the screen soon. I give and receive freely and generously with an open heart and an open mind. The universe responds to me in kind. I know that my beloved community is richly blessed, and so it is.
Doesn't really matter what you did anymore. It doesn't really matter what you did it for or who you did it to. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive. Doesn't really matter whether or not I understand. Doesn't really matter, blame and shame go hand in hand. I still love you, and I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. Totally, completely. What a freedom, just releasing from my heart, from my mind and soul. I no longer want to hold on to that which doesn't make me strong. And I don't care no more about what's right or wrong. I just wanna be whole again. I wanna be free again, wanna be me again. I just want to I'm so tired of being in pain. I just wanna be whole again. So I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. Totally, completely. No. What a freedom, just releasing from my heart, from my mind and soul.
Thank you, Jeff. That was beautiful. So we have some announcements. Chair yoga today with James. Drum circle with Daryl next week. Peter Bedard workshop August 18th. I'm assuming that's like 1 o'clock, and it's $25, $35. And Jubel, Greece.
Yes, today's the last 2 shows, 3 o'clock and 6:30 in Norco, and just come to us and we'll give you the address, and we'd love to see you. Bring your kids, it's super fun.
And last, but certainly not least, volunteer opportunity, beautification of our beloved center. Grounds care signups are on the table back there.
Yeah.
At the back. So
Yeah, there's been some encampments out front, and so we've been trying to mitigate the damage that's being done around the center. And Tricia comes in and she sees all of this, and she's in the office, so she can't possibly be out in the yard, shooing people away and taking care of that kind of thing. So she's asking for volunteers to please help out. Okay, so how's everybody feeling? Okay, so all right. So we just asked the practitioners and the core council to please stand as we do our closing prayer and affirmation. So taking in a deep breath and knowing that there's only one power and one presence That is God, the living Spirit Almighty that lives, moves, and has his being in and through us. I am it. I am a part of the one with the one. I am the divine emanation of spirit. This is how, in the form of Sonja Prince, that spirit gets to express itself here, and right now. And so because I know that for me, I also know that for each and every person here, each and every person on the planet is a divine emanation of spirit. And so today we took a deep topic, this topic of forgiveness. And I saw this prayer, it's called the Serenity Prayer, and I'm going to read it. And it says, on the path of forgiveness, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So this is our prayer. This is our hope. This is about forgiveness. And so when we forgive, we get peace. We get love. We get all of these wonderful things that we are in spirit. But we have to do the work. And so I bless each and every person here. And I bless you on your journey, this journey of forgiveness, this journey of this fourfold path. And I thank you for being your authentic self. I thank you for being you. I thank you for showing up. I thank you for having the courage to stand here with me and go through this process. So peace and blessings to each and every person. And so it is. And now our affirmation, let's say it together, please. Granting forgiveness brings me peace and freedom. Let's say it again. Granting forgiveness brings me peace and freedom. All right. Something wonderful is happening. What is happening through me right now. It is this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it. I share it. I receive it. And I move love forward because love lives here.
Y'all sing with us now. I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. Yeehaw! I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. Let me hear y'all. I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. Woohoo!
Happy
Have a
Sunday.
great Sunday, y'all.
Happy Sunday. Woo.